As I look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather's go too cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around you is not what you foretold. You never see it.
Hi, folks. I've been busy, you know. How long have I been playing? This is the same shirt I wore last week, wasn't it? Anywho, let's dive back into watching Seiju Sentai Gingaman, shall we? This week we're looking at episodes 2 through 5. Seiju no Sairai, Daichi no Chi, Asu no Kokoro, and Hisatsu no Kiba. We start with the return of the Star Beast, and say, remember how Ryoma was able to beat back the whole attacking team of pirates by himself and wounded their leader bad enough to make them retreat?
しかし、奴らを封印する手段はもうない。かなり厳しいぞ。
俺たちだけで十分だよ。炎の戦士も龍馬が後を継いだし。いや、確かに俺たちの方が不利だと思う。
And this is why having your heroes face off against the enemy commander in the first episode isn't always the best idea. Speaking of the pirates, they learn that they need to give their giant living planet-eating spaceship energy to wake it up. And I like that all the generals have their own different brand of monsters of the week matching to their specific themes. Makes the fact that they're all over the place thematically meld a bit better. They send out Biker Commander's dude, who goes about stealing fuel from cars. Really? The Hawk Commander, with a legion of lackeys, tears through the barrier to the Ginga forest and attacks the village within. Honestly, the further we get into this, the more I feel this would have been a better first episode. The commander throws down a device that drains the energy of the forest to revive Titanic, said living ship. And, after telling the heroes to do their job and protect the city, the elder of the village, using a magic mirror, because Japan's 3 great treasures, turns the whole forest to stone to prevent its energy from being used, petrifying even the people and the device she used. Before completely turned, he hands something to the Acorn Fairy. Yeah, we aren't getting rid of him too soon. Also, the whole forest sinks, I guess? I mean, I guess we need a reason no one talks about the forest turned to stone after this, but the hell? The heroes arrive just in time to save the kid and his dad from last episode as the pirate lackeys continue to unintentionally blow up the city. And they fight. However, after taking a flame flash, the Pompadour Lobster takes out the growth device of this series, Barba Extract. That's weird, I always thought excessive drinking prevented things from getting bigger.
だがそれは自らの命を縮めるまさに最後の手段でもあるのだ。
And so people don't ask why they don't start off giant. Ryoma tries to attack him as he is, but is knocked aside. But they're saved by space lasers. And by lasers, I mean the arrival of the Star Beasts. While I'm not crazy about how they move, I do rather like the Star Beasts' designs, because they look like they're at least partly made of stone. It gives them a living statue feeling, or even that they were made by rocks in space crashing into each other. Ryoma hops on, and despite the lobster already being red, they cook him up, but good. And so the day is saved. However, their home is gone, sunk deep under the water. where are they to stay now? Well, we find out in the following episode, Wisdom of the Earth, and after a seed drops from the plot necklace, they're approached by the human kid. He and his father have a new place for them to live till the forest returns. However, Goki is still down in the dumps. Said new place is a writing club his friend runs, and is looking for help.
それってやっぱり埋めるもんなのかな。
さあな。でもこうするのが自然だろ。
I cannot argue with that, especially since it instantly grows. Meanwhile, the biker commander's new monster heads out and starts stealing some heat out of people. Dark. And then from nature itself, causing it to snow. Less dark, but much more useful. After escaping, Goki, still down in the dumps, leaves back to the sunken forest. Seems that what's been bumming him is that he can't see some rare flowers bloom. That's why he's so distracted. And then admitting it and sitting by the lake a bit, he's better. Which is good, because a voice coming from their morphers tells them the enemies are attacking again. How did they know they were attacking in the first place? And they head out to fight. And nuts to a trunk. Ryoma and Goki team up to beat the monster, who grows giant, and we see the Star Beasts fighting just fine by themselves, but that they need the Gingaman for the finishing touch of strength. You'd think a fire attack would be the worst thing to use here, but hey, guess if his hands aren't up, you can fire away. Wow, that got a lot more political than I intended. Curious about the voice they keep hearing, they find themselves back at the tree. And then inside the tree. And thus we meet Monk. What is with this franchise and giant faces? And mind, Super Sentai doesn't have Zordon in that tradition to start with. Next, we learn the meaning of Earth Power, a Hikaru episode about how he's irresponsible with powers. Only it's not. Oh, I've been on the internet, I know where this is going. Yes? Balloons. What?
いいか。アースというのは個人の力じゃない。
星から借り受けた力である。だろ。
Then, why is it called Earth? Hell, if you called it star power, I'd stop nitpicking you having wind Earth power so hard. Later on, when the electric centipede attacks again, Hikaru uses his lightning Earth powers to draw its attention, wanting to prove his power by fighting it alone. And others vying out to action. They can just turn it today. Wow. Also, Mook can only track things by trees. Makes a weird sort of sense. As does Hikaru getting his butt beat. Hayate comes to help, but he doesn't fare much better. And while Hayate's whole line this episode was, do not over-rely on Earth power, Mook's motivation is, yo, Earth powers are infinite, you just need a stronger heart to use it as you will, so use away. This episode seems a bit confused. That is not a thrust! They defeat the monster, and back to night. Guess we just didn't have the budget for a night fight. We round things off with the deadly Kiba Blades, where an enemy set to rebuilding a planet-cracking sword heads out to find 550 weapons to melt down. You know, like cooking knives or jackhammers. Weapons. Couldn't he just take the lackeys' weapons to melt them down? There's no word on quality here, just the number itself and that they're weapons. Point is, along with Ryoma having nothing but the sword to remember his brother by, the monster 3,000 years ago had stolen the Star Sword's partners.
もう片方って何なんだ。
みんな思い出さないか。3000年前バルバンに奪われた武器の伝説をね。
No, Moke, I don't, since this is the first time we're told there's a stolen treasure, or that they're the transforming Kiba blades. Kiba generally meaning Fang.
ああして武器を闇の釜で煮詰めて作った大暗黒剣で。
Good thing there just happens to be one of those on Earth. Are you telling me that the Furnace of Darkness was on the ship and they just set up for this? Ryoma gets away with the swords, and the villains are still 5 weapons ahead. So instead of just going out to get 5 other weapons, they chase after Ryoma and those specific swords. I mean, yeah, it would ruin the Gingaman team's chances against the pirates, but you know what else would? Breaking the Titanic seal with a sword that can crack a planet in half. Anyways, they think they got the swords and throw them in, and nothing happens. Can't be because they put jackhammers and other such non-weapons in there. It must be that those last 5 swords weren't real. In frustration, the biker commander opens his minion's coat, finding the fangs, and tries to throw them in as well. Only to be caught by the Gingaman. I guess they knew this would happen. Hikaru blows up the Furnace of Darkness, and we get a fight to show off the Fang Blades, which come in a variety of forms. A short sword, a gun, set of claws, pair of daggers, and of course a bow for the lady. And they top it off with a team finisher. Hail Satan! Nah, I'm kidding. That is exactly the wrong shaped star for hailing Satan with. But it is the right shaped star for the Star of David. And he explodes. The end. Honestly, and I touched on this a little in the review, but I feel episode 2 makes a better first episode than episode 1. At least for establishing the stakes of the story. I mean, episode 1 has to be what episode 1 is because it needs to introduce the idea of the Ginga Forest, these hidden people with superpowers and all. But we get more of a sense of why it's important that the best warriors in the village are standing up against the pirates when we see how much of a struggle the village actually has against the pirates themselves. Less important is seeing that the Gingamen are so strong that they can fight back the lead pirate by themselves. Still, thank you all for watching another Reading Too Much Into Things. I'm Jake, and as always, stay safe.